Good morning, everyone. Yes, I am out here shouting out loud on this Wednesday morning. I am so glad that you took a moment to come in and spend some time here with myself. This is Rich Wallace. I am with Edge TV Network, and you are watching a show called Strictly Business. We're on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings at 7 a.m., and we are talking about business connections, business startups, business in business for a long period of time. What do you do? How do I get my customers back? I mean, we have an extreme line of business information coming to you 3 days a week, and we're bringing on entrepreneurs that are able to talk about their business and how they've overcome some things in this pandemic and how it's even bothered them, but they are still in business. So I wanted to just give you a brief information about Strictly Business. Our talk show comes on Edge TV Network. We're on several platforms. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Edge TV, of course, and we're on several Facebook platforms. And we're also with the Chamber, Empire for the Youth. So we are also doing quite a few things in connecting with small businesses from the desert to the sea. We are part of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce with 14 chapters all over Southern California. We also belong to state chapters. So the Black Chambers of Commerce is a national organization out of Washington, D.C., and we're just glad to be a part of it as we continue to network and move forward. We have a guest for you today, Mr. Terrence Winslow, and he's going to come on in a little bit. We're going to take a real short break, and we'll be able to connect with him about some of the things that he's got going and how he can change your life. That's what I said. And that's what it has on his card. Ask me how I can change your life. So we'll be right back in a few minutes, and we will get started with Mr. Winslow, and we will connect the dots. All right. Thank you, guys. And hang in there, because this is Strictly Business, and we'll be right back. Good morning, sir, and welcome to a Wednesday morning episode of Strictly Business. And we want to get right to it because we only got a little window of time, and we want to know what Terrence do. What does Terrence do to change my life? So introduce yourself to the audience and just kind of let them know how you can, and we'll interject. Some people start chiming in. So yes, sir, you got the stage, Mr. Terrence Winslow.
Well, first of all, let me say a quick prayer for myself. Heavenly Father, once again, I come before you and your throne, humble heart, grace and mercy. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, oh Lord, my strength and redeemer. So again, with that being said, let me just say,
hold on. With that being said, that's a change in life statement right there. So when you come on with the power and the strength of the Almighty, then you have begun to know. So anyone that caught that, and it's being recorded, anyone that caught that, know that we are on for a ride. So y'all hold on to the end of this garment so we move forward. Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
And with one king, Jesus is king. So let me always give praise and honor. You know, this is the Hollywood Black Chamber. Rich Wallace is
He's frozen up on my end, so hopefully you guys can hear him as he brings forth the message that we need to hear this morning here on Strictly Business. You're back now.
Okay. Let me just, again, my energy, my adrenaline is high because I am,
I've been freezing up again here. Empire for the Youth. I don't know who that is.
That's a colleague of mine. I invited him. We had a conversation, but the purpose for
me, he's frozen up again. There he is. You're back now.
The purpose for me to share with you today is, how not only God has changed my life, but being an entrepreneur changed my life. And here's the backstory. I'm the eldest of 16. My mother, God bless her soul, she had a lot of children. And I'm the oldest of those children. So when you come from the humble beginnings of Mississippi, work, that's something you got to do. In faith, you ain't going to make it without it. So With that being said, that's how my journey started. I joined the military at the age of 18. The Lord allowed me to travel to more than 20 countries throughout Europe and Asia. But in Europe, that's where I found my, I guess, my niche, my passion for entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship became something that I wanted to share because it gave me a freedom that nothing had ever given me before. Not the military, not anything. I've never had a job in my life. I'm humbled to say that. I've only been in the military. I retired from the military in 2006. And for the last 16 years, again, I've been an
And
entrepreneur.
I'm hoping that the people can still hear you. Okay, you froze up again, so you're back now to me.
Okay. Well, let me cut to the chase. How can I change your life? Well, it's not me that's going to change your life. Like I wouldn't say is I'm the mailman. We all have packages being delivered. I'm here to deliver a package. And I package this for you in what I would call something you would remember for the rest of your life. GPS and a 411. GPS. So even if you're not taking notes, you drive and you listen to this, you hear it in the playback. GPS. This is your new GPS for 2022. What are your goals? What are your priorities? And what are your strategies? I help you with the strategies. You're going to have to set your goals, your life goals, your family goals, your travel goals, your, your religious goals, your spiritual goals, your health goals. Make sure you set your goals. Terrence, why do you say that? Well, if you don't set your goals, it's easy to back out of them. If your mama set your goals, be a doctor. If your coach, your mentor set your goals, you can always blame the coach or the mentor. Hey, you set those goals. You set them too high for me. So you set your goals, and that's going to be life changing. Well, Terrence, how do I set goals? Smart. Set them smart. Make sure they're specific. Make sure you can measure them by whatever standard you measure them. Cars, houses, widgets, people, influence, you name it, books. How do you measure them? And make sure they are achievable. Let's say you're a 50,000 a year earner, 100,000 a year earner, and you want to go to a six-figure earner, seven-figure earner. Well, don't turn around and say to yourself, you're going to turn six, seven figures in a week or two. That's not achievable or realistic. But what I would want to say to you is this: make sure they're achievable. The R is realistic in a time bound manner. That's your GPS. Your goals, the P. What is P, Terrence?
Are you
Priority.
saying, I think he's cut out on us again, and he was saying, make sure that your goals are achievable. And as he comes back, you were saying, make sure that your goals are achievable.
Correct.
Okay, now how do I, if I set the goal and I'm to reach it, as I'm setting the goal, how do I know that that's really achievable?
Well, you got to
How
be
can I
realistic.
tell in the beginning of the goal that I can make it? Is that is that is that just drive and determination? How can I be sure that when I set this goal out here, how do I know I'm going to make that goal? Even though it's my goal, do I is there something particular that I can do to make sure that because the goal is on the other side of I quit.
Well, how am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. This is the icing on the cake. Five P's. This is how you make sure you hit your goals. Five P's. Number one, make sure your goals are aligned with the purpose. Purpose, number one, prior to a plan. Number two. So I do emphasize a business plan, but there's something called a business model canvas. You could Google
So,
search
uh,
those three
and I
words.
can't hear him. I don't know if the rest of the group can hear him or not, but he was saying, make sure that your goals, there you go, you're back now.
Make sure your goals are aligned with your purpose, number one, first P. Number two, you need to have a plan. And I'm not saying go out here and do a formal business plan today, but I would recommend you do what you call a business model canvas. You could Google search that, those three words, business model canvas. You could do that as we speak. And that's a one-page business plan. It's called a business model canvas. The third P, Be highly productive. Productive. No, I'm not saying busy. Productive. That's why we're setting goals, travel goals, time management goals, faith goals. And when you're productive, make sure you keep these in alignment. Number one, purpose. Number two, plan. Number three, productive. Without the fourth P, which is people. You're going to get to the people. You're going to have people that you can have volunteer at this company. It's already running efficiently. You're going to have people that can jump on board with high skills. You can hire them today, indeed them tomorrow. So you need to be productive before you involve people, whether it's a nonprofit, for profit, any type of business. It can just be a backyard barbecue. You need to have a plan. You need to be clear on your purpose, and you need to be productive, and then involve people. And why do I say that? Because the fifth P, that's how you're going to keep your peace of mind. And see, when you have the quality called peace of mind, you become very attractive, especially in a world filled with turmoil. So when people come to you, now you want to ask them, what are your goals in this relationship? What are your goals in the nonprofit? What are your goals in the church? What are your goals for your community? It's our community, but you're clear on your goals. You're clear on your priorities. And you don't have to tell your priorities to everybody. You got yours, I got mine. I have, children and grandchildren. You may be a single parent. You may be single. So your priorities are going to be yours. You own those. The goals are more important because the goals will pull you. See, once you write the goals down, and that's the key thing. If you don't write your goals down, they're dreams. And we all have dreams. Ain't nothing wrong with having a dream. But until you write that dream down, it's not a goal.
So, Terrence, are you telling us that we need goals for everything that we do? Like you mentioned, you need a goal for the backyard barbecue. What is the purpose of having it? You need a goal for, why do I go to church every Sunday? What is my goal with this lifestyle? It's not just business goals, personal goals. And you got me on the relationship goal. You go like, okay, why am I in this relationship? What is the goal of, once I ask you what's your name, what's your phone number, give me your email address, now do you get into, here are what my goals are. We're having dinner, and this is what I'm planning. This is what I look for my life, so that you can, I guess, find out early on, is this a relationship? Is this a friendship? Because they put the word ship on the end because it's about leaving. Because the ship pulls into the port, hangs out for a little bit, and that ship leaves. So friendship, relationship, all of those ships are designed to keep moving. So if you are not designed to move along with that relationship or whatever that is, can you do you voice your goals to someone that's involved with you, that's involved in your business? Okay, here's the goal of what we're trying to do here. I've got a big planning meeting coming up in a few days, and I want to be able to tell the Black Chamber presidents and the vice presidents what our goal and what we're trying to achieve. Do you share that? Because sometimes when you share that goal and that vision, it may be too big for another person. And if it is, how do you handle that? And if it isn't, how do you handle that?
How am I coming in? Am I still
You coming in
clear?
good now? You good now? Yeah.
Okay. I'm a professional, so this is something I'm trained to do. But number one, I challenge anyone to get a coach, get a mentor. But let's go ahead and address the relationship question first. Number one, it's not a relationship unless it's mutually beneficial. Let's define that. You don't have a relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be a business. If it's not mutually beneficial, it's not a relationship. So make sure you get clear on a relationship first. Now, that's why you want to already come to the table with your goals, because you're going to bring value to the relationship, and you expect people to bring value. And they may not be clear on their goals. That's even better, because if they're not clear, that means from the beginning of this relationship, you both get clear from the table, from the beginning. First 15 minutes, Here's a way you can do that for yourself, any relationship. It's called the gains exchange. And you can do this in 5 minutes. You can do it in 15. You can do it in 40. You can do it over, I do it over what I call a 2 hour power lunch. I have lunch with the person first. Humbly, I'm looking at their etiquette, how they eat, how they talk. I'm learning about their friends, their family, their occupation, their relationships. And then my message is real simple: a gains exchange. My goals are I want to be an international best-selling author in the next 12 months. So that's 1 year. That's the 411. 4 weeks equals 1 month. And I usually ask them, where do you want to be 1 year from now? I know where I want to be 1 year. That's making it realistic. Number two, accomplishments. We all have accomplished things. This is a gains exchange. Ask them about some of the things they're proud of, personal or professional, they've accomplished. Most people ask me, what is something you're proud that you accomplished, Terrence? I spent 20 years in the military, traveling in more than 20 countries all over the world, Europe and Asia, and I retired by the age of 38, and I wrote a book about it. That's an accomplishment for me. Can you tell me some of your accomplishments? Next, I move into interests. Well, what are some of the things you're interested in? I'm interested in financial literacy and obliterating poverty from disenfranchised communities. I come up from a disenfranchised community. I was born and raised in the rural south of Mississippi, where Emmett Till was slaughtered. 2 hours south in Greenville, Martin Luther King was assassinated. So I have some interest my whole life to, number one, address the financial literacy and impact anybody, any age from 8 to 80 on how they could be financially independent from the world's financial system.
Okay, Terrence is frozen on my end. We've got to get some better internet here. And I don't know if it's mine or his, but he's there. You're back. Okay.
Okay. The G was gains. Okay. Goals. The A, accomplishments. The I, interest. The N, networks. What are some of the networks? You know, if they're an entrepreneur, business person, they should be in some networks. You know, Robert Kiyosaki says, build your networks, you're going to build your wealth. Well, I'm a part of the Hollywood Block Chamber of Commerce. I usually recommend Chamber of Commerces. That's a strong place to start as an entrepreneur, to meet other business owners who are like-minded. Key word, like-minded. You're in business. Yeah, there are nonprofits out there, but when you're in business, you got one goal: to earn a profit. Get clear on that. Be proud of that. Stand on that. Every business that you're supporting today.
And a lot of times that because you're in business and because you know people, they want to connect and they want that chamber discount or that brotherhood discount or that gospel discount. And they think sometimes that the fish on the window says discount. And it just says that I'm going to treat you right if you come in here, basically. So because as you were saying before you froze, is that people are in business to make a profit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in business because I have a passion to do this, but I'm really here because I'm trying to pay my mortgage or I'm trying to pay my car note or whatever the case may be, as in drawing funding. We had a lady on just last week and we were talking about crypto, and she was saying, never put any money in that you can't afford to lose. So if that's your car note payment, don't dump it in crypto, don't dump it in Vegas, don't dump it in wherever your thought process is. But now that you're unfrozen, I just wanted to kind of jump in on that. But as you were saying, know what your passion is. And a lot of times people will come to me, Terrence, and they'll go, I want to be in business, but I don't know what kind of business to be in. And I asked them, well, what do you like to do? What do you I go, well, I like to do a lot of things. So they don't really have a vision. They may have provision. They may have some money in the bank and some things to do, but they don't have a clear thought of where they're going to go with it or how they're going to take it to the next level. Is that some of the training that you do in getting people ready to engage what they believe in?
Absolutely. Am I coming in
Did you freeze
clear?
again? Yeah, you froze again. So, and hopefully you can hear me when you come back, that we want to talk about what people might be able to engage in and how they can take their business. Oh, there you are. You're back now.
Well, vision. That's the easy one. Yeah, I'm a professional again, humbly. Let's say if you want to help somebody get clear on their vision, ask them what they're passionate about. Simple question. What are you passionate about?
And
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Let's say they're not clear on their vision again. A simple question to ask, what are you passionate about? Now, let's say it's music. Let's say it's real estate. Let's say it's sales. At least we have a foundation to start from. Now, let's say, again, we're all in the business to earn money. Well, now, do you see yourself earning money from this passion? And they may say, well, okay, that's okay. Because now the consciousness is awakened. I'm passionate about something. I may not see myself earning enough money to have a livable wage. That's why you set goals. Don't fire the boss until you can sustain this. Or usually what I tell a person again is 12 to
So basically, what you're saying is don't quit your day job. You kind of froze again, so I'm jumping in. Don't quit your day job until you know what your real job is, or what your passion is, or what the victory is, and having your end goal, as Terrence was saying. Go ahead, sir. You're back.
exactly. Don't quit the day job. You know, Damon John, Shark Tank, he has that quote. But humbly, let's say, let's I'll use this as an example. Know the four types of money. Am I still coming in clear,
Yeah,
Rich?
you good. Yeah.
Four types of money. This is why this is important. The first type of money is called income. So most of us have a job. Again, humbly, I started in the military, but I always saw myself as an entrepreneur every day. So as you have income coming in, that's going to produce cash flow. That is the lifeblood of any business. Cash flow. It's flowing in. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. You can't take your cash flow and humbly go buy Jordans every weekend, go out to dinner every weekend as an entrepreneur. You should be investing in chambers, score events, your clothes, becoming an attractive person. So now, as you invest, the third type of money is what you call investment income. I would recommend self-investing all of your earned income as much as you can in your business. Humbly, when you get your paycheck from your job, military day job, Walmart, take a portion of that as much as you can and deposit it in a business checking account. Self-invest your earned income. And now that'll produce the fourth type of income, owner's equity. You own the business, and it's a process. This is a true marathon. This is a true journey. It's your business. You want it to be around 20 years, 30 years. You want it to take care of children's children. Set that as the goal. You're the CEO until one of the children's children can take over. Not even the children get to take over. Put that as a stipulation in the business. Now it is a legacy business. Number one, you must have income, whether it's a job, whether it's, you got a hobby, or there are a lot of ways to make money on the internet now, direct sales, but take that income and allow it to flow, not flow to Walmart, not flow to the mall, not flow to the new iPhone, flow to you in your business checking account. Now that's investing, because as you turn around and spend money from your business checking account, join the chamber, join the score, join other opportunities to produce more income, cash flow. And now you're going to own things. That'll start to free you up as an entrepreneur to, network more. And again, get back to your GPS, your goals, your priorities, your strategies.
So once you've done that, now I've put a little money aside, and it's so easy nowadays. Even if you invest in stocks, There are Robinhood and other places that you could put $5, $10 into the stock market or into the crypto or into you. You said earlier, invest in yourself. Change your atmosphere of clothing, of how you walk out of the house when you walk out of the house. I don't know that many people but I've seen them where they still have their pajama bottoms on and they're at the store, and it's like, okay. And you don't know if that person has a pair of blue jeans or whatever, or was just too lazy and walked out with the house with the pajama bottoms on, and it's got the slides on. And you have to think about when you say, I'm just going to run to the store and grab a loaf of bread, because you don't know who you're going to meet when you're in line. You don't know who you're going to run into. You don't know who God is going to put in front of you. And one of the things that I learned about scripture and understanding is be prepared. It's to prepare yourself for the blessings that are coming your way, because the worst thing in the world is to have a multitude, to have your cup runneth over and nothing to catch the spill, So people want their cup to run over, and they get a bigger cup, it's still going to run over. So as it runs over, prepare yourself. It amazes me here in California that we're in a drought area constantly every summer. But when it rains in January and February, we have no place to capture the water, So that is the weirdest thing in the world to me, is that why aren't we prepared if we know it's going to rain 2 weeks straight in the month of February? Why aren't we prepared so that when June comes, we didn't capture any of that water? So that amazes me. And the wildfire, when it's not fire, why don't we put a sprinkler system in the mountains, when there's no fire, so that we can just turn it on? I am not sure on the preparedness of the world, and which leads me to the people of today are unprepared because of the microwave mentality that we have today. I say we need it now. We want it right now, and I tell people all the time, God is a right now God, but he's also, wait a minute, stand by. You're not prepared for what I'm going to do right now. So as you prepare yourself and get ready, this is what Terrence is saying, is that if you don't know how to prepare yourself, go to someone like Terrence, get a mentor, get someone that is going to guide you down the right line, because I do believe that victory is on the other side of I quit. So as people to be victorious in what they're doing and you're guiding them along, Terrence, what is the easiest or the general suggestion for, and it's hard, but do you have a general statement that grabs most of the people you're back now? Yeah.
Don't quit. Don't quit.
It's simple.
Don't quit. And let me help you with don't quit. There are 5 levels of commitment. Number 1, you need to make a commitment to your journey. And the lowest level of commitment, we'll start at the lowest level. We'll start at the bottom. If you ever hear yourself say these 3 words in any relationship, like we started off, relationship, business relationship, marriage, live-in lover, you name it, LGBTQ, it doesn't matter. If you hear yourself or the partner say, I don't care, you're not committed. Get out of that quickly. The next level, wishing and wanting, you're not committed. Get off that level quickly. That's the lottery mentality. I wish I hit the lottery. I want to hit the lottery. Well, you got to play the lottery. You got to commit to playing. Don't let the person hit for 1.3 billion and you wish you hit it and you haven't played in the last 2 years. Yeah. That's a very low level of commitment to winning $1 billion playing the lottery. The one in the middle, try. And I'm not going to beat you up on try. We all got to try. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Right. But you got to get out of that level too. You need to get to the highest 2 levels of commitment. You need to get committed, comma, fill in the blank. Committed, comma, fill in the blank. Committed, unless you slap my mama, okay? that could be a game changer.
Yeah.
Committed, unless you violate some of my spiritual values or beliefs. Okay, I might need to get a divorce. So you were committed, fill in the blank. But the highest level of commitment, which I recommend, is committed, WIT. That's the don't quit. Committed, WIT. That's the don't quit. What is WIT, Terrence? Committed, whatever it takes. That's it.
So it's a danger zone, Terrence, to say, if this doesn't work by next year, I'm going to do something else.
Danger zone, you're not committed. If you put the if this don't in your mindset, trust me, the universe is going to give you a lot of ways to exit out of it. That's the purpose of the goal. See, now because hey, I'm a big proponent of goals for that reason. I mean, I put a lot of things on my plate. I tell a lot of people about my goals, so I can't exit out of it. That's the mentor, that's the coach, that's the accountability partner. That's entrepreneurs like you. I mean, I knew to call you back last night regardless, just because of my respect for you, just because of who you are as an influential person in my life. I'm committed. I mean, this was something that I found out about last night, and I had to rearrange everything to be here because I'm committed, though. People need to know you committed.
Yeah. And I knew that your commitment was there. So that's why, and I have to tell people, I grabbed Terrence at the last minute. It was 7:30, 8 o'clock last night. We own a charter school called Youth Build. And we were in 2 days training, Monday and Tuesday, all day long. So I was wore out when I talked to you. And then I probably even sounded like, oh, man, you know what? I'm going to send you something a little bit, But 2 days of book training and information about school getting ready to start. And our school is called Youth Build. And we're pretty much set for young people from 16 to 30 to get their high school diploma. So we deal with people that have left high school for whatever reason. A lot of times you age out at 18 and you can't go back to high school. You only needed a few credits. And so we take in young people like that. We have married couples at our school trying to get their high school diploma, and Youth Build's high school diploma is as valid as a public high school diploma. So we're in a life-changing mode at our school where young people come in, and we try to take that vision, as what you were saying, what they believe in, what they're passionate for, and we try to give them a jump start with that, because leaving high school is leaving high school. You don't really have a jump start. You don't have a plan. You're probably still at home unless you're in a foster care system, and then you get the left foot of fellowship and you have to leave. So we get a lot of those young people. So we try to make sure that young people not only have a vision, put them in an area so they can have some provision, and give them that width for. So we remove quit from their vocabulary, and we start talking about words that you can use. I had a pastor friend of mine one time say, when you speak those words, they're kind of like the cell phone signal. They're in the atmosphere. And you could walk right into them. You spoke them and they're going out there someplace, but they're in the atmosphere. And as you walk back into those words that you spit out a week ago. So spit out the right words so that you can grow. And if you need some people to help you grow, this is why we bring people like Terrence on, because it's necessary to get help. A lot of times, us as people, Black people, I know everything about what I'm doing. I don't really need no help. I don't know, I don't need no mentor. I don't need no counselor. I don't need this. But right now, mental health is a big thing, because we're finding out people are falling apart. They take on too much, or they don't take off enough. Sometimes you have to say no. I can't do that in my window. I can't do that in the time frame that I have. Even though I have the passion for it, I want to do it. It's going to stress me down, not out. It's going to stress me down, so I can't pick up the things that I need to. And you're a great multitasker. I'm a good multitasker. I can do all of these things. But if I don't step back, I don't work on Sundays. I normally don't even answer my phone on Sundays. I dedicate that time to my family or to myself, or just nothing. And sometimes I say that but I can sleep during the football game all football season. But I use that day to say, this is where I reignite myself so that I'm ready on Monday. I do very little work on Saturdays, but Sundays I pretty much try not to do anything because I gotta plug in. I gotta put some more plug into me. So I say to people that are grasping certain things in the mental situation and it's too much, because it can sometimes look like it's too much. It's and you were in the military, I was in the military, and they taught us in the military, don't look up at the mountain, just take one more step. Just keep taking one more step. Because if you look, if you see the end game, it's tough, because it's really, really tough. You're going to get to the end game, but as you look up and you keep going, I've taken a walk in the afternoon when it cools down, and I've looked up and I'm like, man, I'm a mile and a half away from the house, So I start crying about walking back. But but if you just take one step at a time and ignite yourself each time, and spend time in the word as you're walking, spend time and dump some of that stuff that you need to get rid of. Talk about some of those people that you need to get out of your life, and God will show you how to release them so they could still be strong, because sometimes you release people the wrong way. But it's necessary to be able to strengthen yourself. And do you have workshops that you do, Terrence? So how do you get people to come in, and what is your method if I reach out to you, and if you can share your phone number with us?
Well, let me address something you just said there. How am I coming in? Can you hear me?
You're good.
Command your morning. Command your morning. Like you just alluded to, we both were in the military, but what did they have us doing first? Commanding our morning. So Terrence, how do you command your morning? I call it the 20-20-20 rule. I have a rule called the 20-20-20 rule. So what's the 20-20-20 rule, Terrence? When you wake up, spend 20 minutes in prayer with the Bible. Just read it, 20 minutes. Set your iPhone, your Galaxy to 20-minute countdown. Just read through the scripture, flip the pages, spend time in prayer. After you come out of that 20 minutes, meditate. Now, this is where we address what Rich said. The negative thoughts, they're gonna come. There's a lot of turmoil in the world. There's a war going on, post-pandemic, pre-pandemic, inflation now. So negative thoughts are going to come. Well, in your meditation, just throw it back to what you learned in the Bible, because that's what has already happened, those same type of things. So you've spent 20 minutes in the word. In meditation, when the negative thoughts come, throw them back. And he just addressed it. The final 20 minutes, take a 20-minute walk. Take a 10-minute walk one way, 10-minute walk back. Do exercise in the house. Stretch out for 10 minutes. Just stretch out your body. That's commanding your morning. That is 1 hour of commanding your morning. And if you do that consistently every day, that is 7 hours in a 1-week period that you invested in you. Time with God, your creator. Because you're going to use that creative power to create your vision, create your blueprint, create your business, create networks, create your empire, your legacy. That's what we're doing, creating. So we're going to leverage God's creative power. But now let's be practical. Life going to get in the way. Life is going to get in the way. Accept that.
Terrence was saying life's going to get in the way. I don't know if he's frozen on your end, but he's frozen on my end. And when he comes back, he's going to tell us how does life get in the way. I wanted to address something that you were talking about just a minute ago. It's very important. We live in an environment where, and I guess it's believers and non-believers. And I get talking to a believer. I get the 20 minutes in the scriptures. I get the 20 minutes in prayer. But when you're talking to someone that goes, you know, when you're talking to someone that goes, I don't necessarily believe in that. Is there a step that you take in bringing a non-believer to the table? I want to say, because it's definitely, if I'm a I can put down all the scriptures you give me, because if I don't believe in the Red Sea being parted, it's going to be tough for me to believe I'm going to be a billionaire, and I don't have that disbelief. I want to say that out here. But when you're talking to someone on the basics, and you throw those scriptures in, and you started out praying this morning before, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those kind of things, so I get excited about that. But some people don't get excited. So, and you're in business to bring people to a level of understanding and the things that they need to do. And how do you do it to a believer or to a non-believer that they don't have a reference? You have a reference book. You use your Bible. You use a reference book. You use the stories in the kingdom. And I learned Jesus don't run out of fish. So how do so when you're talking to people in that area, what do you capture them with?
How am I coming in? Am I okay?
You coming in, you good. You good.
Here's another acronym. This is the acronym I always use. I gave you gains. That's a good foundational start. Gains. It's a gains exchange. Goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, system. I'll naturally use form. You got to have form when you play basketball. Form. Friends and family. Take them to the friends and family. Occupation.
Hopefully the people can hear you. I can't.
Okay. Again.
So you're talking about form.
Yeah. Friends and family. So get them to talk about their friends and family. That's gonna get the psyche to going. Relationship with friends, relationship with family. Let's say they say, I ain't got no family, I don't have a dog. Okay, move to occupation. What do you do for a living? Well, I just got fired. Okay, move to recreation. Move to something fun. Who's your favorite sports team? And let's say, hey, I don't like sports. Then your message is simple. Have a good day. You're not like-minded.
Yeah.
You're not like-minded.
Yeah.
You've given yourself enough time to build a relationship because you're bringing a lot to the table. You know your value. It's a gains exchange. But if you go through that much heavy lifting, you're not like-minded. And you have to know how to unplug, because people are going to sap your energy. And more importantly, time is your most precious commodity.
Yes.
Don't give away your time like that.
Yeah. We've been talking about time management in these sessions that we do in the morning, and gathering people, trying to get them to understand the value of their time. And it's kind of like the old country and western song. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. And there's another song I'd say, 50 ways to leave your lover. Get on the bus, Gus, drop off the key, Lee. So you got to know when to go, and then you got to let people go. Sometimes people will try to get away, and you have what they need, and that if they hang with you just a little bit longer, if you just don't leave me, Lucille, right now, we can make something happen. But sometimes you got to let people go, because they won't grow if they don't go. The hardest part, I tell people all the time, the hardest part about parenting is letting go. Because when that kid turns 2 and starts to walk, and they want to snatch their hand away from you, and you tell, no, there's danger, Will Robinson, danger. I got to hold your hand so that you don't walk into traffic, or you don't walk into a situation that you can't get out of. You're 2 years old. I know, because you've been walking for a year, you think you got it, but no, I got to hold your hand. And it's the same thing with a 25-year-old or a 35-year-old, but then you got to, as a parent, you got to like, okay, let me back up. But as a parent, you got to have a net because that's still your kid. You know, that's still your kid. Let me get a net up under this knucklehead because he don't know he gonna fall. He can't hold that rope that long. You know, when you were in boot camp, Terrence, and you were climbing up that rope, you know, and it got tough on your hands, the drill instructors at the bottom knew you was on your way down.
Right.
So they prepared for you to hit the ground so that you could get back up again because they wasn't going to let you, once you hit that ground, you let go of that rope, they were not going to let you sit there and catch your breath. You had to grab that rope and start all over again. And that's the thing about it, is that starting over again is part of life. And you may not start the same way, but you need to start so you can engage and move forward. So that's kind of the thing that we wanted to get out this morning. I want you to take a couple of minutes and tell people how to reach you, how they can find out where you are. And of course, you can always call the Black Chamber of Commerce at 888-466-7408, or you can go to our website. You can reach out and you can say, hey, I'm looking for that guy. You know, I had Miss Clark on a week ago, and they were looking for her. You know, so I said, okay, this is how you reach her. Here's her 88 number. You know, and she let people know that 411 still exists. I've had people know 411 doesn't exist. Yes, it does. We get a lot of people because we live in Southern California, or the young people Google it, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people that don't Google. There's a lot of people that pick up their phone and dial 411 and go, hey, how can I reach? And and everybody is not in that directory anymore. I remember the big phone book, you know, when you would look up a person's phone number to find out where the information and stuff is. Here at the Chamber, we're an information resource center. And I say, tap into Mr. Winslow here so you can get the information you need to be able to move forward to make it happen. Yes, sir.
Again, Terrence, first name, it's on the screen, Terrence Winslow. Just Google it. But a number for me is, again, 1-888-825-0787. Hit extension 101. It'll get to me or somebody on the team. I'm pretty good about getting back to you within 24 hours or even sooner. Again, TerrenceWinslow.com. I just released a book. There's a YouTube about the book. The book is everywhere books are sold. It's called The Seven.
Okay, he was saying he just released a book. I can't hear him, but I'm going to ask him when he comes right back, when it stops spinning, to find out where we can get that book at. And Terrence, where can we get that book at?
Everywhere books are sold.
Oh.
You can get it at Amazon. You could. Right now, I'm giving away a sample through Kindle. If you go to Amazon on your app, type in Terrence Winslow, switch it over to Kindle, you'll see an opportunity to just download a sample, and you can just download it in your phone or everywhere books are sold. Barnes and Noble, Amazon, you name it, everywhere books are sold.
And Terrence, you just gave a bunch of people a fantastic tip that write books that are on Amazon, that they could give a sample on Kindle.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. I have people all the time. I got this book, and you can go to Amazon, and they don't have any books in the trunk because Amazon is sending them all out, or whoever's sending them out. And they're not where every books are sold, but they're on Amazon because they had that passion to believe that Amazon was going to be great for them. And they don't realize there's a million books on Amazon. But if you can say, hey, you know what, you can go to Kindle and you can download a sample, so I could actually listen to it in my car, or I can listen to a portion now. And you know what? Now I'm ready to make that investment and buy that book, or, you know, pass this sample on to someone else so that they could hear that. That's a fantastic tip. And I'm glad you were, you know, and that kind of wasn't what we were talking about, but that came out. And that's the thing about using mentors and people that you can communicate with, because when you start talking to them, you have and I don't want to call it a stock speech, but you have a format that you work from. But if you're talking to me, then all of a sudden you say something that just as simple as, hey, I got it over here. And I'm thinking, wow, I got a book. I don't give out free samples. And I haven't sold a book in a few years, because there's a million books on Amazon. So now I'm going to create a sample. So tips are fantastic. So I thank you for that one. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit more so you may be able to slip out another tip or two to us.
Uh, the last two tips I would give is, you said it, the grow. There's a model called Grow Model. That's in the grow. I won't give it to you. You can Google it. The W is will. Your will. You do need to have some will, and you do need to have some desires. The first tip in success is, do you have the desire? See, you got to have the desire to be financially independent. You got to have the desire to be rich. You got to have the
Desire
desire.
is a big thing.
Desire is the
I
number
can't hear
one
him. I
thing.
hope you guys can. I hope I'm not talking over him. But to have the desire and to engage your desire. There we go. You were saying have the desire.
Yeah,
You will.
desire is number one. If you don't have the desire, because you could be talking to someone in a networking situation that may not have a desire. It's like trying to sell steak to a vegetarian. They're hungry, they don't eat meat. So now you got to understand what their hot points are. Maybe I know people who eat meat. I can refer to your steak restaurant. So you got to meet people where they are and give them their desires first. And that's how the universe is giving you your desire. Another closing comment I would make is, make sure when you set your goals, your $1 million goals, your $1 billion goals, your legacy goals, you're clear on what you're going to give back to the world, back to the universe. That's how the universe is going to give you your desires. You're going to leave your mark on this planet, whether you impact people, you influence people. That's a buzzword, influencer. You may just be so influential, you can show up and people will show up to join the chamber, or show up to join networking, or help youth build. I heard you mention youth build. I am so honored that you mentioned that. One of my colleagues, Empire for the Youth, is on here. That is a dynamic way to help the youth. And that is one of the foremost ways to build something. Build them first and then allow them to construct something.
Okay.
That's what I would want to say. Those are my closing words. I know we spent a lot of time here today.
As we build our way out and try to make things work in a direction, there you are. You're back. Yeah, and that Empire for the Youth, they logged on, and I didn't know who they were, so I gave them.
He's one of my mentor students.
Oh.
That young man, he went to Stanford. I mean, he graduated valedictorian. Harvard, when he transferred to the University of Michigan, he transferred to Michigan and got a master's degree. Empire for the Youth is his MBE. It's a minority business enterprise, and it's a nonprofit. And again, you know, we all are here to serve the youth. That's the future. So if we don't build the youth, we can't complain about the millennial sagging or shooting or killing. What did we do to guide, mentor, build them? Because
if you will share my number with him, I would appreciate that. He tried to log in and he wasn't scheduled, so I didn't know. And my producer person could not get to them because they were out in another city. But if you have the opportunity to pass my number along to him, I would like to have him on as a guest to talk about Empire for the Youth as well. So please do that. I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning. I appreciate you. And we got to get back together, you know,
yes, sir.
And so that we can have these kinds of conversations, even if it's we may do a men's conversation coming up. I'm planning it for late August, early September, where we can have several men to talk about the mental stress or the things that men go through, just kind of lifting each other up. And even I love the fact that you started with prayer. So I'm going to let you wrap this up with a prayer, and then we'll just, when Terrence is done, we will be done. So thank you once again for being a part of Strictly Business, Black Chamber of Commerce, Edge TV Network. And if you're on and you're interested in being a guest on our show, you would log on to edgetvnetwork.net and scroll up or down, depending on which way you left hand or right hand. Click on Strictly Business and schedule a time to be on our show. We would love to have you. And I'm going to pass this on to Terrence. And when Terrence is done, we will part of Strictly Business today. And I want to thank all of the audience that came out. We're up to over 15 people today. So that's a fantastic number for us. I know the internet says, oh, we got 500,000 people, but we talking about changing people's lives. And if we can do it 15 at a time, that's a good thing to do. Yes, sir, Mr. Winslow, take it over.
Again, thank you for the opportunity. Heavenly Father, once again, cover us all on this planet. We know the victory was won not at the cross, but when you rose in all of us. So as we rise each day, allow us to go out here and live our passions, live our dreams, and continue to make this world a better place. Thank you. Have a great day.